Hi, I'm Johnny from UltimatePapier-mâché.com, and just this morning I started a new project. You probably can't tell quite yet because this armature isn't even close to done, but it's going to be a life-size raccoon. He doesn't have any feet or hands yet because those little fingers can't really be done with cardboard. I'm really going to need some aluminum armature wire and some aluminum foil for the fingers and the toes. I'll be doing that in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made the pattern. So if you want to make one yourself, you'll be able to. If you want to borrow mine, you certainly can do that too. I'll go ahead and post it out on my website. You can download it if you want to, and then go ahead and put it on cardboard and cut it out like I did. I've also got some wire in here. You see, he doesn't have a neck, and the reason for that is I'm going to be moving this head around. Sometimes that's a little bit difficult to do. If you're using a cardboard pattern, sometimes you want the neck to go in, some odd way that a real neck would, but cardboard doesn't. So I just thought it might be a little bit easier if I used the wire for that neck instead. That tail might be just a tad bit long, although I don't know, raccoons have really big tails, and we'll be filling that out later too. So in this video I'm going to show you how this part of it was done, just the armature, how to put the armature together with some scrap styrofoam, and then in the next videos we'll go ahead and see how I'm going to make those toes, the feet and hands, how we'll fill out the actual shapes of all this, the muscles and the fur, and then we get to cover it with paper mache. And wish me luck. I really hope this one turns out now that you've seen that I've started it. I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is going to work. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I tried to sketch just from photographs of raccoons, and I just couldn't get it right. I couldn't get the proportions right. The foreleg or the back leg or something would always be either too long or too short. I think I was confused by all that fur. So I went back online and found some real raccoon skeletons and made sketches using those, and that gave me the right proportions. Once I had the bones on there correctly, then I could move the bones around in the sketch just like I would if I was using a wire armature. And then after that I could add the outside shapes of the fur and the muscles. I cleaned it up a bit in my image editing program. Actually, I cleaned it up a whole lot just so that I could leave out anything that might be confusing. I just wanted those outlines so that I would know exactly where to cut the cardboard after it was transferred over in order to make the cardboard pattern. And then I also added a grid right on the sketch in the editing program so that when I did transfer it over to cardboard, I could make the pattern bigger. I've got 17 squares from his behind to his nose, and that should translate really well if I use a 1-inch grid on my cardboard. It's going to get bigger, but about the same size as an actual raccoon according to Wikipedia. They come in different sizes, but they're a little bit bigger than a cat. So I'm going to go ahead and make a grid on my cardboard. I've got lots of it because I just moved, and I'm going to use that 1-inch grid. And now I have the grid all done, and I'm just transferring it all onto this grid. You just copy one square at a time, which is fairly easy to do. Of course, you only need one arm and one leg on the grid, because as soon as you cut those out, you can use those as patterns. Just draw around them with a pen. Then I found a piece of heavy wire. I don't know what gauge it is. I've had it for so long, I really have no idea. But it's nice and heavy. And I cut a piece that would be enough to go all the way from the head to the end of the tail, and marked the portion that was going to make up his neck. That way, when I put everything together, I would know for sure that the neck was going to be the right length. Then once I had the wire all cut, I cut out the cardboard pieces, and then I got to add the wire just with some masking tape. I taped it on pretty good. I just didn't want it to be moving around too much when I was trying to change the posture of my raccoon. Tail was just a little bit long. Might even need to be adjusted a bit after I start sculpting, but that it really doesn't make much difference right now. We'll worry about that later. For spacers, I used some scraps of styrofoam that I had out in the garage. I cut them into blocks that are about 1 1/8 inch thick. That seems to be about right for this size of raccoon. you need to put the blocks inside the outlines of the arms and the legs so that the styrofoam doesn't stick out and interfere with the sculpture as you continue building up the forms. You also want to notice that those shoulders do go slightly above the body pattern. There's always just a little bit of bump right there. You can see that really easily if you look at your cat when she's sitting down, those shoulder bones really kind of stick out right there. The spacers for the back legs need to be cut at a slight angle, as you can see here. So now we've got the cardboard portion of the armature done, and we've got it all put together. Got the tail on there, at least it's in a place where we can start filling out the shapes of everything. In the next couple of days, I've got some armature wire, some aluminum armature wire that's going to be perfect for those nice long fingers and toes on this guy. And that at that point, then we can also start doing a little bit more positioning, change the head, put it where we want it to, maybe curl up the tail just a little bit. He can even bend his spine here in the middle. That might make it a little bit more dynamic and a little more fun. So we'll be doing that in the next video. I hope you'll be watching for it. It's going to show up on my YouTube channel under the raccoon playlist. And if you want to do something besides a raccoon, be sure to come out to my website. I've got more than 380 tutorials out there. So if you want to do a cat or a turtle or something else, we've got a whole bunch of tutorials out there. And a lot of them don't show up on YouTube, especially the ones from our guest posts. So be sure and come and visit me, ultimatepapier-mâché.com. I'll see you there.